I tell you, I was feeling the energy earlier during Garrett's talk, all of you, but really that activation and the toning that you ladies did, it was just like what he said, it's a lot of emotional release. There's a lot of people releasing emotionally, and it's really wonderful, just, giving lots of hugs. But what better place is there to be emotional and, to be in a space of love than with a crowd like this, with family? It's just wonderful. Okay, are you ready? Okay. All right, well, I'm going to start off by showing just a few slides of these little memes that I made up that have quotes from Sumbo's book, from both books actually, from the Sasquatch Message to Humanity, Part 1 and Part 2. The majority of all of these quotes are coming from Camus. I don't think there's any from Star Elders, although they did channel some messages in those books as well, in different chapters from some Star Elders that came through. But so I'm going to just point out, some of the more important ones here, that the Sasquatch, the messages that they want to really share with us in ways that we can improve ourselves and help our fellow human beings and galactic beings and everybody. So in this one, Camus says, "My people is the living proof of the stories of your origins carried in your ancient sacred scrolls and in the ancestral oral traditions of your tribal peoples. Our knowledge is what your people have forgotten about your true origins, nature, purpose, and destiny." And that's one of the most important things that we can remember right now is our ancestral roots, the way that our forefathers, everything, the way that they handled situations, the way that they had compassion, and being connected to our star elders and realizing the oneness that's between us all. And Camus also says, "The message of my people is not one of the mind, but one of the soul, inspired by the heart. We do not play on words nor elaborate sophisticated rhetorics to express ourselves, but project directly the images of our thoughts into the souls who are ready to communicate in this way." And that's really the big purpose of this conference, rather than, talking about any physical features of them, what they look like, where they live, what they eat. None of that is important because they're not even physical most of the time anyway. They really want to connect with us through our heart space, through our soul, so we can remember who we are, how we're related to them, and everything that, all the power that we possess to transcend ourselves. We don't need, we thankfully have their assistance in guiding us to achieve this, but we have the power within us. So that's how they really want to work with us, through our heart center. The best way that I have found, a lot of people ask me for advice on telepathing with them and communicating with them. And the best advice I can give is to open up your heart. This is where it starts, right here. You get rid of all of the negative emotions and doubts and fears. Just set them aside, open up your heart. And I'd like to say, kind of fake it till you make it, even if it doesn't. Sometimes when you initialize, you're too much in your head. You're thinking, oh, is this real? Or did I really experience that? And things like that. So they always say, get out of your head and into your heart. And that's the best way to connect with them, through your heart. And also, with nature, because it's all connected. Here Camus says, "We were also gifted with powerful psychic abilities that we have kept to this day, including telepathy, mind reading, remote viewing, hypnosis, astral projection, dematerialization, teleportation, shape-shifting, and permeating consciousness. This last ability allows us to impregnate an area and surround entities with our soul, so we might be perceived as interdimensional beings, But in reality, we're an incarnated species with highly developed psychic powers like none other from this home planet. And so many of our speakers have already given an example of this weekend, of the ways that they've been affected through telepathy, by seeing things shape-shift, by feeling certain energies. One of the most common ways that the Sasquatch will connect with somebody, especially somebody that might be reluctant on the outside, is to enter their dream state. That's the best way to do it when we're unconscious, so that we don't have that fear factor. So they work with us a lot through the dream state. You might even find yourself, you wake up and you'll have this revelation, I know all the secrets to the universe, and then usually it fades away within a few seconds. But the Sasquatch, not only do they give us dreams that we can really remember, that they just feel so real. I can't tell you how many I've had that you just wake up and you say, that wasn't a dream, that happened. And that's one way that they can connect with us and really influence us to make us understand that this is real. Camus also says, your people must remember that you are all brothers, born from the same ancient star seeds, and that you were created as caretakers and protectors of all life forms on our home planet, Mother Earth. And, well, that kind of speaks for itself. We're all related to our star elders, but the Sasquatch people were the first mammal people that were seated here on Earth for the purpose of taking care of Mother Earth. And that's why they're helping us now, reconnecting with us, because Mother Earth is in such a sad state of affairs, basically due to human negligence and things that we have manifested as a race. And so now they're saying, hey, before it's too late, please listen. We have an urgent message for you. And we're all related. And as Bo said, the Sasquatch, we're 99% related to them. We're more closely related to them than any other mammal. It is now important for your consciousness to learn about interdimensionality. Not only is it necessary for your individual spiritual growth, but also for your collective healing and evolution, in order to be able to transform your actual doomsday scenario in a viable, responsible, and sustainable future on our home planet for generations to come. The other choice you have is to stay in the materialistic paradigm, a timeline of fatality. So that basically summarizes what I just explained, and that's that we really need to connect through spirit, through our heart center, in order to overcome the state of affairs that we're in. And as you all know, and I'm sure can feel, is that the energy and the vibrations of this planet are really rising. There's kind of inevitable change ahead for everybody, not just the planet, but in our personal lives. Most of us are coming to a point where we're faced with some kind of decision. Do I walk this way or do I walk that way? And so it's really important to use our discernment and discrimination and make those decisions from our heart space to be sure that we're on the right path of unconditional love rather than, materialistic or ego or greed and things like that, which are, the energies that are trying to control the planet, but they're not doing so good now. Okay, Camus also says the way of spiritual dharma is to always seek peaceful relations through healing of karmas and solving of conflicts, through agreements and alliances benefiting all parties. Rather than pursuing endless conflicts, the Star Elders Council allow opposed groups to exist in their own sphere without interfering, always offering space for healing and peace. The only way to resolve your actual critical planetary crisis is not by fearing, hiding, nor fighting, but by working on the greater healing through reconciliation and forgiveness. You cannot erase the past, even less so what preceded you, but you can learn from it. And that's an extremely important lesson too, because we are being affected in many ways that on the surface could seem negative or to have negative effects. But if you change your perception to something a little brighter, you can see that you are experiencing these things to learn a lesson so that you can overcome that and move on to the next level. Like just, for instance, people have injuries or, just unease in their body or emotional things that come up. And especially now, like during the conference, and these activations, it is going to activate anything unwanted to come to the surface. And so while we might think, oh, I have a headache or this, whatever situation it is may not be pretty, but just grab a hold of that and say, I don't need you anymore. I don't need this. This emotion came up so that I can deal with it and heal it. And then we can move forward with love and compassion. This is the same picture Sumbo showed earlier of Camus' hair, which, by the way, I have around my neck, too. So if anybody's hugged me and felt something, it might have been Camus here. This is the ultimate gift of trust and friendship that we can offer, apart from our spiritual support. If all the many signs and manifestations given were not enough to convince you of our presence, this hair will stay with you to remind you that we are never separated in the spiritual realm and that our interdimensional, interspecies friendship is as real as you are. So although our connection with them is spirit and heart-based, they do like to show us physical signs just to remind us that, hey, you're on the right track. We're here. We're protecting you. We're guiding you, and we love you. Understanding your multidimensional nature and spiritual essence frees your soul from their detrimental influence on your destiny as individuals and eventually collectively. This is at least our hope and desire that of our star elders we wish to assist you. Remember that your eternal essence is divine and that many allies are ready to help. And so both books, the Sasquatch Message to Humanity, particularly book 2, really goes into more detail so that we can have a much fuller understanding of our interdimensional, or I should say multidimensional nature. Because we aren't just here in these bodies. We are every incarnation we have ever been and every incarnation we will ever be. And outside of that too, we are a soul and we are going to continue to live forever, and we are able to access all of these realms simultaneously. So while I'm standing here, another aspect of myself is up there flying a ship, and another aspect of myself is down in a cave digging quartz crystals, and all of you are doing the same thing. Oh, okay. I'm going to leave that there. That's my next story. Okay. So what I would like to share with you now is the gentleman named Seth Master, who made a lot of the Sasquatch items over there, the pillows and the little pals and the mirrors and things like that. He's also a Sasquatch communicator, and he received a credo, some information directly from the Sasquatch that I feel would be really beneficial, and they asked that we share it in front of the audience so everybody can benefit from that. So this is titled, "The Time is Now. Shift the paradigm of destructive life to constructive life." A credo has been formed by the collective elders, which facilitates the conscious co-creation of constructive life. This credo assists us to transform ourselves so that we can shape a constructive reality instead of a destructive reality. Remember, wherever you focus your attention, you align with that reality. A common pitfall in redesigning realities is the attitudinal behavior pattern of victim and blame, which both come from a place of powerlessness. Some common expressions are, that company or that person is greedy, they're bad, they're uncaring, they're evil, etc. And this reinforces and projects that energy onto the company and the people involved, which adds to this destructive life. This makes it harder to change anything. Does that make sense? Okay. Instead, perpetual forgiveness and discernment keeps your energies from entering the victim and blame modes and realities. Retain your personal power, keep yourself aligned with powerfulness. Don't align yourself with powerlessness. And then, and only then, will you be able to create change. Some of you may be thinking, I don't have any problems with what is stated. And I encourage you to understand that we may not always be entirely aware of our inner workings. Choose to give what follows a try, and just make sure that your energies are untied from the destructive life paradigm completely. It's simple. The more you play victim, the more you align with powerlessness, and you can't do anything except complain and add to the inappropriate energies already playing out. When you forgive, you end the victimhood within, and you stand in more powerful position to create change. You become the solution because you have stepped outside of that reality and entered a reality where solutions are prevalent. When you are on the outside looking in and no longer lost in the victim of destructive life, you are initiating great change in the world. Each attitudinal pattern you play is out of a part of a larger collective matrix, and the more you play it out, the more you add to it. Once you see this in yourself, you have a choice to keep indulging in it, or you can cancel your agreement to play it out in any way. A tool for you to transform yourself is as follows. So I'll share this. This is a clearing protocol. The first step to mastery is to be aware all day of every thought, word, emotion, action, reaction, and intention, which is, of course, much easier said than done. It takes practice to do this. But here's some ways that we can practice this. Once you recognize an inappropriate attitudinal behavior pattern, say to yourself, I cancel that pattern, state whatever it is, and I choose for all of it to be healed, including the cause, 100%. Now I choose to live my life 100% in eternal life alignment without that pattern. Sit with those energies as your request is fulfilled. This helps untie your energies to that field and can recreate your life without it. If you don't know how, then just command your eternal, authentic self for help every step of the way. And he says, FYI, the eternal, authentic self is an aspect of yourself that has been blocked due to distortions in the morphogenic fields. Due to the recent corrections in this field, we are now able to access this aspect of ourself for healing, guidance, and creation assistance. Next is an essential clearing to make at this time to shift a paradigm within yourself and beyond. Say, I command, or if you don't like the word command, you can say I intend all of my destructive living agreements I have ever made with myself or anything else to be null and void now. Anyone or anything that continues to align with destructive living, to leave my entirety now and never return, and all the damage be 100% healed and integrated to align myself 100% with constructive life, this or something greater. And now here is the credo he wishes to share. The two parts of the credo that transforms those who choose it are the remembrances, which are energetic dispensations from the Creator as friendly elders aligned with eternal life. They help us to remember what has been lost, buried, distorted, or unknown. Remembrances are akin to the in-breath of life, or also internal self-recreation. The second part of the credo is the choices. Activations based in the energies of the remembrances. And we say remembrances because, well, it's something we all know. So we're remembering. We're not being taught anew. We're just being reminded. By choosing to allow the consciousnesses to flow into your day-to-day life, you take a new stand and become a standing wave, disseminating all through actions and feelings. The choices are akin to the out-breath of life, or action. From a creation mechanics point of view, the more we hold the energetics of constructive life, the more it spreads out for others to shift into as we are all connected. This builds a life that is self-sustaining. This credo is designed to spread from the Creator to our elders and to us, and finally to this world, and shift the angular rotation of particle spin out of the old destructive life death science mechanics to the constructive life eternal life mechanics. This honors the earth's free will as it has chosen life. An exercise has been developed for you to gain the most from constructive life creation mechanics. This exercise helps realign your being to constructive life. So I want everybody in here to practice this with me. And I'll pause in between so there's enough time to really go inside and to integrate this. So first, relax and let go of your daily stressors and become present. This helps you to loosen your assemblage point and make it more pliable for shifting into new position, reorganizing your personal power. Intend or command my eternal, authentic self to assist me in sovereignty alignment for this process for maximum effect. I'll say that again. My eternal, authentic self, please assist me in sovereignty alignment for this process for maximum effect. Remember, choice is an intention and a technology that has been developed over eons. Empower your choices by realizing that empowered commands or intentions create realities. Next, say the following intentions mentally or audibly, slowly and meaningfully, and feel free to say it out loud. Allow for us, so I will allow a minimum of 30 seconds or more. I'll just feel the energy in the room and speak afterwards. But so allow that quiet time to experience the backflow return from your command. This helps you to gauge, feel, and hold the alignments that manifest energetically from your command as you go through your day. Once you're immersed in the energies, you can think and physically create solutions to issues and manifest a new life for yourself and others. So let's begin. Number 1, today I choose to remember my eternal, authentic self and allow it to guide my every thought, word, action, reaction, feeling, and intention from this moment forward forever. I'll say it again for more integration. Today, I choose to remember my eternal, authentic self and allow it to guide my every thought, word, action, reaction, feeling, and intention from this moment forward forever. Really feel some hearts opening in this room. Excellent. Number 2, today I choose to remember the values of oneness. Today I choose to remember the values of oneness. Number 3, today I choose to remember perpetual forgiveness to bridge the gap between myself and others. Today I choose to remember perpetual forgiveness to bridge the gap between myself and others. Number 4, today I choose to remember joy and create from it. Today I choose to remember joy and create from it. Number 5, today I choose to release the grip of fear and victim and remember sovereignty. Today I choose to release the grip of fear and victim and remember sovereignty. Number 6, today I choose to remember the actualization of the highest and best brought about in the highest and best way producing the highest and best for myself and for others. Today, I choose to remember the actualization of the highest and best brought about in the highest and best way, producing the highest and best for myself and for others. Number 7, today I choose to remember healthy, loving interspecies relations. Today I choose to remember healthy, loving interspecies relations. And finally, number 8, today is what I make it, and I choose to create the highest and best for all. Today is what I make it, and I choose to create the highest and best for all. Now hold this alignment as you go through your day. Do your best to deepen the feeling of each part of the credo. Let the consciousnesses that flow around and through you guide you in constructive life. To further amplify this alignment as you go through your day, repeat this phrase: I choose constructive life. I choose constructive life. I choose constructive life. To release and heal internal conflicts to the above audibly, proclaim the following to your eternal authentic self. Clear and heal everything that I don't need to experience in order to learn, heal, and grow from my entirety. Purify it, return and integrate it to me as pure creative energy, this or something greater. I'll repeat that. To your eternal authentic self, say, clear and heal everything that I do not need to experience in order to learn, heal, and grow from my entirety. Purify it, return, and integrate it to me as pure creative energy, this or something greater. The more you keep yourself standing within these alignments, the more you enhance this consciousness field. As you live this constructive life stand, or walk, you could say, you add to the collective soul and deepen its understanding and consciously add to the healing process of our species. This will be used as a gift to be added to others for the further, there it is again. thing I came prepared. Oh. This will be used as a gift to be added to others for the further continual development of awareness, which is the main purpose of life. Increasing awareness creates eternal life. And this is a quote from the ancient ones that say, "These words are alive, let them enliven you." Seth also created the really beautiful clock that you may have seen in the main hallway on the table. He carved that and gifted it to Chewelah and I. And but the Sasquatch, or ancient ones I should say rather, they said that all who gaze upon that clock would be receiving Sasquatch DNA activation and unconditional love activation. So if you didn't get a good chance to stare at it, please do. So that concludes what Seth had to share, and I'm going to be posting that on our website and Facebook and everything so that it can be copied and printed out and something that we can do every day if we want to. Before I go on, let me have another good cough. Be right back. I'm back. So, just last week I had a really wonderful, amazing experience that I want to share with you all. And some of you may have already read it on Facebook because I did share it, but there's a direct message that I'll be reading to you, but I'll give you a little background into it. Since being born in this body, I have been looking forward to my 37th year. I didn't know why. I just knew 37, something big is going to happen when you're 37. I didn't know what it was, really no idea. I was like, do I hit the lotto? Do I have triplets? Do I die? I don't know, but something big is going to happen in my 37th year, which is going to be life-changing. So guess how old I am? 37. So this year, the energies really started to flow in just a few days before my birthday, and which is April 30th, by the way, if you care. But anyhow, I could really feel this significant change. I was really charged up, still didn't know what was to come, still don't completely, but these answers really gave me a lot of insight. And a few weeks ago, I was doing a funeral service, a memorial service for a friend, just giving a blessing. And I was on my way back home, and I decided on a whim, or really, I guess you could say I was influenced, to pull into one of my very favorite spots that I was passing by, an area that's in Colville, actually, called Crystal Falls. And that's too far, okay. And so I have always been really attracted to this area. I've visited quite a few times before I even lived here and would visit. I was immediately drawn to that area. It was one of the first places I stopped, and I was just like, wow, this is home. This is my happy place. You know how you all have that happy place in your mind you go to calm down? Well, Crystal Falls was it. And then when I finally saw physically Crystal Falls, what that was, I knew that was it. I knew I was home. I knew it was familiar to me. So I stopped in there, and I was led to climb over some large rocks, and there was a hiking trail, a walking trail beyond it. And I had no idea that this has been there the many times that I've come to visit that area. I've always just kind of stopped and admired the waterfalls and communicated with the Sasquatch. I was very much aware that their energy and presence was there. And so I really enjoyed that, but I had no idea that there was so much beyond these large rocks. And so that time that I was there that day, I knew definitely of a presence, And I was informed that you should come back here alone sometime soon and bring your pen and paper with you. And he gave me a little brief introduction, a Sasquatch hybrid named Eliato. And he said that, this is a wonderful sacred area, but don't explore it on your own. You need a spiritual escort. So when you return, just ask me. I'm here. I'll be your escort. And so I don't think it was even a week to 10 days later, I had an opportunity to go up there. And so I will share what this is, the message that he received. So let's see. Okay, I'll just read the entire thing. I've recently connected with a high-ranking elder of the Teza'atem race named Eliato. This connection began after I visited this favorite place called Crystal Falls that I told you about, which, by the way, I'm sure many of you are interested to know where it's at. In Colville, if you turn right onto 3rd Avenue, they also call it Tiger Highway or Highway 20, and you follow that for, I don't know, is it about 15 miles up that road, beautiful scenery. On the right-hand side of the highway, you will see a little brown sign that says Crystal Falls. You can't see the waterfall from the highway, but it's just a place to park on the side of the road, and then you walk down and you enter this beauty. So yeah, about 15 miles from the town of Colville. So this is the message that I channeled and transcribed at the time that I returned. Eliato said, "Welcome back to this beautiful and sacred space that we refer to as Anktaniwa. Your people renamed this area Crystal Falls for the quartz caverns that surround it. Your ancestors helped to establish and shape the land as you see it today. As I told you before, my people, the Teza'atem, were seated in this very area, a hybrid species of the native Shaska people, which was the Sasquatch, that was a specific tribe named Shaska people, and the long-headed race referred to as Anutinzane, who were evolved star elders that were builders and genetic engineers. They are the ones that created my hybrid race to assist in building this outpost and many others nearby." This is an image I found on the internet, but it gives a really good, this is very much what Eliato looks like with a little bit more hair. Because my people were created with great strength and endurance, the Anutinzane, who were the long-headed beings that are the star elders, created more of us for this work in order to focus more on their genetic engineering. Over time, the Anutinzane lost their connection with the reality of oneness and began treating my race as slaves rather than neighbors and allies. Over time, their empire began to crumble as they became more disconnected from the Council of Star Elders, which seated their race here with purpose. Below your feet, where I stood at the time, and throughout this sacred land, is an abundance of pure quartz crystal, which the Star Elders used to build high technology devices, such as ships and interdimensional radionics machines. These advanced devices are high-power energy sources that could create a harmonic balance within a wide radius of the area that it is programmed for. The Anutinzane taught my people how to use these devices, and once we noticed an imbalance in the mechanics, my Teza'atem people committed to do this sacred work, which thus allowed us to collectively raise our vibrations so that we were able to move onward, setting up these beacons to continually do the job without a physical being present. Most of the beacons and technologies are still here in caverns and beneath the falls. As you can feel, this area is peaceful and balanced, a place of serenity that we revisit to recharge. This is also why you feel the same about Anktaniwa, the original name given to this land. For you, not only is it the sacred energy and balance, but also a connection to yourself and your ancestors. Sitting in this place, on the same rock that you have sat many times, brings up ancient memories and awareness of who you are. Eventually, the Anu Tenzin abandoned this place as their collective reality took another turn. For reasons of safety and protection, the Star Elders asked my people to destroy some of the structures and hide secret entrances so that lower density civilizations would not find and misuse the sacred energy and objects that remain. My people have not been involved with your human people, except for the few like you who have ancestral links to us. But now, as we enter this new dawn, we are reaching out more to your people who remember your connection to us and Anktaniwa. As many portals have been opened and bridges built to link up our realities and memories, many more of your people will remember your other existences. This also plays an integral part in understanding our interdimensional nature. One day soon, this sacred area will once again be inhabited by races of highly evolved beings, including your new human people. We ask you to hold the space of love and balance as you come deeper into this awareness. It is with the greatest pleasure that I deliver this message to you, as it is a turning point in your own personal journey, as well as for all of humanity. Thank you for your service and for sharing this message with your people to assist in your collective awakening. Blessings abound. So that's the beautiful message from Alayato that's meant for all of us. And the day prior to receiving this message, Alayato also informed me of other events taking place, such as psychic attacks and other deliberate manipulations from the lower lords. And I shared this message on Facebook also, since it came just the day before, and I'll share that here. And he said there are dark ones that project thought forms onto others to influence ideas that fit their agendas. To the receiver, they may feel like divine knowledge, but by discerning the truth with the higher wisdom encoded in your DNA, you can feel the intent behind the thought and use free will of allowing an action. Beings of light will not use fear tactics, always only unconditional love. The dark ones are pushing harder than ever now to manipulate all that represents truth and love as they try to hold on to their last grasp of control. They cannot achieve this unless one allows it. Humanity is at a critical turning point in the cycle now, and it is important to stay aligned with the light by using positive thought projections to manifest peaceful relations and the best outcome for all of humankind. So Alayato, along with the Council of Star Elders, after the message at Crystal Falls came, they informed me that, as well as Sambo, telepathically, they told him as well that it's my turn to transcribe important information from our wise ancient elders, and that they're preparing me to write book 3 and 4 of the Sasquatch Messages to Humanity, which will go into further detail of the knowledge that's required for mankind to understand who we are and our true interdimensional nature. And because it's not past, current, or future, it's all one existence, all playing out simultaneously in multiple realities and realms. And so I'm really deeply honored to be given this task. And I just want to thank you all for your love and support. And I'm really looking forward to it. Now I have a better understanding of what this 37th year is bringing to me. Yes. So anyway, this is just the beginning message of it, and so I'm really looking forward to what's to come. And I've been getting questions all weekend, so I wanted to open up the floor for the last few minutes here and see if anybody had any questions for me. Yes.
Just to clarify, you're going to be writing books 3 and 4 years old?
Apparently, yes. Yes, I will be. Yes. Any other questions? She said, just for clarification, you will be writing books 3 and 4 of the Sasquatch Message to Humanity. And I said, that's what I've been told. Yes. Thank you. Okay, well, if there's no other questions, we're just 10 minutes early, and we would really like to gather everybody for group photos, if we can. And it's 6 o'clock. Oh, yes, raffle. Okay, I'll do one. Would you go grab me a couple raffle boxes, please? Or somebody, please? And we'll do the rest at dinner.